Flack. We are twins who make reviews and commentary about movies. In this video, we're doing like our top 10 favorite movies of 2022. A disclaimer, we haven't watched every film that came out this year, like the second Wakanda Forever or Avatar, just to name a couple. So these and other movies you may have watched will not be included. We will do a vague description of the movie and we'll try our best not to have spoilers. Descriptions are based on our knowledge and what we remember, so we basically didn't look up anything. We will also say why we recommend others to watch, and we rate them from least to best. Our number 10 movie is Sea Beast. Sea Beast was created by Disney. It would be categorized as a kids movie, but I would say it's great for all ages. The movie tells the story of a young girl trying to follow the footsteps of her parents by becoming a sea monster hunter. She ends up sneaking onto the hunter's ship, which happens to include one of the top hunters in the area. He ends up after a lot of resistance, including her in his journey in rough waters to hunt down sea beasts. I thought the scenery in this film was beautiful. The storyline was so wholesome. I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say both characters went on their own personal journeys and they learned the true story of the sea beast. The movie is short, which is another plus to watching the film. Now, number 9 is Moonfall. So, sci-fi and space is one of our favorite genres of films, so we had to include one that fell in this category, which is Moonfall. Moonfall follows the story of what happens if the moon were to go out of alignment and the chaos that it would cause. The movie follows an ex-astronaut who world came crashing down after a failed mission, a NASA executive played by one of our favorite actresses, which is Halle Berry, and a conspiracy theorist who all team up to stop the world from ending. I really like that this movie showed what could possibly happen in the future and tips on what we could do if a national disaster such as this happens. It definitely had me thinking how would the world today handle this type of crisis or anything related to it? I definitely don't think we'll be prepared at all. And I would highly recommend I will highly recommend others watch this film because it gives you a different look at space, the future, and society. So the number 8 movie on our list is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is part of the Marvel universe. So I had to include one of the Marvel film in this because we do like that types of movies. We really like the other Doctor Strange films in this franchise. I will say it is one of our favorites in the Avengers world. This particular movie connects the television show WandaVision, which was a great show, so you should check that out too. In this film, we learn that Doctor Strange is not the only one that travels through different dimensions. He links up with a teenager who has to have the same abilities as him. I enjoy seeing the different worlds. The visuals were amazing. We also get to see some different enemies and other versions of the characters we got to see in the movie. If you are looking for a more magical or kind of an adventure type of movie, this is right for you. So the number 7 on our list is The Immaculate Room. We will recommend you do watch this. It follows Kate and Mike, a couple who makes the choice to enter a contest in which they have to stay in an all-white, isolated room with one another for 50 days, and they receive $5 million. The couple are not able to leave the room or they will forfeit the money. The film shows the ups and downs the couple experience with just being isolated with each other. I like the concept of this movie. I really liked it. And I wonder if anyone watching would spend 50 days with a significant other or family to win $5 million. I think I would. Depends on who it is, especially if $5 million is the payout. We will recommend you to watch this, whether they just to see whether they made it the whole 50 days and to see if anyone relates to this couple. So our next movie on our list, which is Spiderhead, it stars Chris Hemsworth as one of the main characters. The movie takes place inside a high-tech facility where people are used as guinea pigs for a scientific experiment. The facility is run by Hemsworth's character, who tried to see if his drugs can cause people to be in love with anyone, only from taking the drugs and nothing else. We also follow 2 of his patients who are administered several mood-inducing drugs to see how it affects them. I enjoyed watching this film because there were numerous twists in the movie. The acting was great, and I really liked the ending as well. Coming in at number 5 is Fresh, with focus on women who goes on some not-so-great dates. One of the dates she goes on leads her to be held hostage and having a piece of her skin cut off. We have done a movie review on Fresh, so look on the channel to hear our thoughts about the red flags we noticed about the guys Noah, the woman in the movie, decides to go on, and the toxic traits we notice about Steve, the guy she becomes a victim of. I really like this film because it focuses on moderate dating. It's also a way for people to be mindful of red flags when they're pursuing a partner. Just a disclaimer about this movie, it does feature cannibalism, but definitely worth watching. The next movie on our list is Pearl at number 4. which is set in the 1900s, and the scenery is like farm-like area. It focuses on a young lady named Pearl who lives with her mother, and she has to help take care of her father. Her husband's in a war at the time and has not returned. We see how Pearl has bigger dreams than living in her miserable town with nothing much going on or living in the same life as her mom. So basically living the same life that she see her mom is living. She don't want to live that life. She has plans to change her life, which one of her plans is being a famous actress. However, when some of her plans fall through, she has a psychotic break, which we see her do some heinous crime things as a result. I really like this psychological thriller because of the shocking and entertaining moments throughout the film. It was really great. I definitely recommend others to watch. A movie that is controversial and not due to itself, but due to the actors involved, is coming in at number three. Is Don't Worry, Darling. The film focuses on a married couple played by Florence Pugh and Harry Styles. The couple lives in 1950s suburbs where the houses, cars, and surroundings all look identical. The women in the movie cook and clean while the husband go out to work. Basically, things you would see saw in the 1950s in terms of how people act and look. We see the routine day-to-day interactions of the people in the town, specifically the couple in the movie. We hit with a twist which shows us nothing is as it seems. I enjoyed the movie from start to finish. I really like the twist in the movie, and also remind me of like a Black Mirror episode. If anyone watched that show, the next movie on our list is The Black Phone. It ranks high in our list and comes in at number two due to how well the movie was made. The premise of this movie is it focuses on a 13-year-old boy being kidnapped from his neighborhood by a serial killer. We see how his life is at home is like with an alcoholic father, a wise sister who has premonitions, and a peers who bully him. We see from the beginning of the boy being kidnapped and if he's able to escape. The film does have like a supernatural element to it, but I do highly recommend people to watch. I really like the whole plot, and those who like true crime definitely should watch. Now, the best movie and number one in our opinion is The Woman King, stars Viola Davis. It follows an all-female army in the 1800s who fights to defend the kingdom during the time of slave trade. It is based on the real Dahomey tribe in Africa. We see in this movie how each woman fights for their family, their loved ones, and those who treated black people like commodities instead of human beings. This is definitely the favorite movie of 2022. We recommend others to watch, regardless of any age or race. The scenery was breathtaking, the acting was on point, and the story was captivating the whole time. These were our top 10 movies we would highly recommend for others to watch that stood out to us this year. As we mentioned before, we didn't want to spoil any of the movies or give too many details so you can watch and agree or disagree on our choices. Also, just want to include a few honorable mentions that we thought were decent, like Nope, Deep Water, Luck, and Smile. So check those out as well. Happy New Year. Happy holiday to all. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.
Bye.